And here we are back again. And I was so pleased when Connie Hood, she was on a few weeks ago, talked about this Jajja's Kids. And I said, I'd really be interested in learning more about that. I had no knowledge of it. We have Diane, and she's the U.S. director.
Right.
And Ronnie is the Ugandan director as well. Can you tell me what Jajja's Kids are?
Well, Jajja's Kids is an organization that started actually 12 years ago. I went to Uganda thinking it would be my only time, and I wanted to do photography. I was introduced to Ronnie, who had been a street child. He can tell you more about that.
Okay.
And he took me into the slums, we bonded, and we decided to work together to help other street children. So 12 years later, we have had a home for the last 6 years, a rented home for 19 children who are all living together, going to school.
Are they orphans?
More or less, more or less.
Okay.
Some of them have parents. In Africa, if you are missing one parent, you're considered an orphan.
Oh, really?
So it's a little bit different. But they've all been very, very poor, not going to school when Ronnie picked them up, eating out of garbage bins, you know, sleeping at night. Yeah. So we now run this home. We have a community program too. So our house is the center for the community, and on weekends, kids come in and learn dance and you know, get all kinds of training.
So you try and enrich them as well.
Absolutely.
Educate and enrich.
Absolutely. Yes.
So tell me about your life, Ronnie.
Well, first of all, I am so happy to be on the TV the first time in my life. Well, my name is Sseruyange Ronnie. I'm from Uganda. Uganda is located in East Africa.
East Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
So, telling you about my life a little bit, I grew up on the street there for 10 years.
Did you lose your parents? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost my parents. I started living on the street when I was 6 years. So a lot happened, which I cannot really start and finish. The only thing that I cannot forget is I lost my jaw. So my jaw is not in a straight line. Because the third day of being on the street, a big street guy came and boxed me and my jaw turned like this. So they pushed it. It took me 3 months to start feeling it again. So when they pushed it, it didn't get back right. So that's why you see even it's not really in the straight line.
I would not know that. I would not know that.
So a lot happening on the street. You know, when you grow up with no hope, you don't think of the day tomorrow. But I'm pretty lucky today that I have a life that's pretty good. 2006, it happened to meet Diane. And when I met her, my dreams, things that I used to think about, it got to the point of starting working. When I gave Diane a tour on the street, I took her to all the places that I used to be. The city street life used to be like my village.
Mm-hmm.
So from that day,
that's all you knew.
Yeah.
That's all you knew.
So you can imagine sleeping on the street for 10 years without seeing the star and the moon, and just sleeping outside. So I just get to realize recently that I missed a lot. It's fun to see stars.
Stars at night.
Yeah. So I met Diane, and you know, she asked me a question after giving her a tour. What do you want to be? What do you want to do in your life? I said I didn't go to school. But the experience I have and the challenges that I've been facing, I would love to help my fellow friends on the street. And then she said, let's keep talking about it. So she gave me money to buy a phone. And when I bought a phone, the balance of the phone, when I gave her the balance, she said, you go and buy minutes for your phone. And instead of buying the minutes for my phone, all of it, I decided to go back where we went with her to have a little party, having tea and chapati, and you know, basically me, I understand that's how I started the program of Jajja's Kids, with the balance of the phone. So we started the Friday program medical supplies, food, clothes.
So many needs.
Yes.
So many needs.
And we started
Yeah.
trying with like 100 kids and, kept working it more specifically.
Let's take a look at some of the photos. Maybe, Ronnie,
Great.
you can talk about them.
Great,
Can we see
great.
some of the photos, Janice? There we are.
Well, the pictures you see, those are the kids that I choose from thousands of street children to start a program with. The first picture with the tie and dye t-shirt, they are sitting in front of their home. And then the picture with the green, it is inside the living room with the volunteers coming from US, teaching children different skills, reading, doing art, and all that.
That's become an important part of our program, that every year we bring people over with us, and it's just this beautiful double exchange.
Yeah.
Here on the right, those pictures are when the garage was turned into a library. We got some money from a local Rotary Club, and it allowed us to paint the library, put in books.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they become literate.
Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
Now, this picture of the costume, when I left the street in 2000, January 3rd in the evening, I joined a certain organization, and I learned a bunch of skills, dancing, playing instruments, and singing. So it's one of the things that I do, teaching people in the community. The kids coming to our program, I teach them how to dance, playing instruments, singing, and doing exercise. So that's our area. That's the community where we got them home.
Yeah, and it looks pretty sparse.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
And that's the kind of, we don't have much games.
They're playing Go.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we.
No, checkers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that checkers?
Yeah.
Looks like
We
Go.
cut
Okay.
paper box, and we design it by ourselves, and then we get tips of the bottles, and we start playing the
And you
game.
say, yeah, that's creative.
Bottle caps, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is some of the staff. Ronnie is the director, and there's a staff of 6 altogether. We have a house mother that's there on the left, Black Seda, the security guard. The girl in between Ronnie and the security guard is our bookkeeper. We also have a social worker, and we have an education coordinator.
You've made quite an impact on the community. And on the lower, I guess it would be our right if you're watching it, you have a fundraiser.
We
Let's
have a
talk about that.
fundraiser.
Will they meet Ronnie there?
Absolutely. Yeah, our 7th annual fundraiser is coming up this Sunday afternoon at Revolution Hall in Troy. It's 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. And there's going to be a meal served, and we're going to, hear about our future plans. It's a big part of the program. And at the end, the last hour, Ronnie's going to lead traditional music and dance. We have drums coming, and he's going to get
wonderful.
people drumming and do some dancing and stuff. So it's, we've been really happy to be at Revolution Hall because it's a great place
It's
to
a great
have a party.
location, yeah.
And they've been absolutely wonderful. They're very generous to us. So so we're excited to do it again this year.
I'm really pleased, Ronnie, that you joined us and you told us some of your story. I'm sure I could talk for another hour with you and learn so much more, and I wish we had more time. And Diane, what you're doing is amazing, and how it happened just on that. I always talk with these chance encounters.
Yeah, yeah,
And look what you've created.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, how wonderful, how blessed you both are. Because in giving and receiving, I mean, you're doing so much for these kids. And I'd like to know more about, maybe in the future, come on and tell us what's happening to these kids after they go on.
That'd be good.
That would be wonderful. And our big push right now is we've been saving money to buy our own house because we're renting a house.
Right.
And the kids are vulnerable. They're, tomorrow, especially the way things are there, they could be said, be told you have to move out now. So we're hoping to get a house.
Luck, and I wish we had more time, but thank you
Thank
both
you.
for being here. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about women's employment, helping women this time. So stay tuned.
Thank you.